Gentlemen, please listen, take a heed. This is democracy manifest, that's the creed. Done nothing wrong, can you not see? What is the charge you've laid on me?
One day we'll get the lip syncing right.
He's done me wrong, got me on the penis, stood there strong. Why did you go and do this deed? Is there a reason I need to hear? Eating a meal, a succulent feast. This is my crime, oh, what a beast. Why do you charge me for what I feel? Is it wrong to enjoy a Chinese meal?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Succulent Chinese podcast. As always, my name is Will.
And I'm Brent.
Thank you for responding with your name, because otherwise I would have looked like an even bigger asshole than
Wait,
I
I'm Will.
Hey, I'm Brent. I wear a kilt.
I haven't worn a kilt in a while. It's hard to wear a kilt and carry a gun at the same time.
I mean, you do have a prison wallet.
I'm not Luis J. Gomez.
Oh, no, I'm just talking about a tiny gun, but he'd have like a 50 caliber 50
I don't know.
caliber submachine gun.
I didn't see a picture of the latest gun that went into Lewis's butt.
Do they have automatic 50 cals?
Automatic 50 cals? I'm sure someone's put a switch on a fucking deagle somewhere, but although you can't put a switch on a hammer-fired gun, it's not striker-fired, it's hammer-fired, so you would have to do something with the sear. Yeah, I don't fucking know. I mean, there's obviously 50 cal, like squad automatic weapons and so on and so forth. But I guess not squad automatic weapons, but yeah, there are automatic weapons that fire a 50 caliber round, but not like a 50 caliber automatic pistol or anything like that. I mean, Brandon Herrera,
they'll break your hand off.
Brandon Herrera, who is a great fucking follow on Twitter as well as on YouTube, the AK guy. He took, this has been a process he's had in the making for like 8 years trying to build one out, but he finally built a working prototype of an AK that they converted to take the 50 BMG round. Yeah, not 50 AE, which would be shot out of a Desert Eagle, but 50 BMG, like would be in a fucking Barrett rifle or
the one.
Like it. Go ahead.
The one we'd all want to shoot out of anything.
Yeah, it's like $6 a round. I mean, this round is fucking. It was designed to be not anti-personnel, anti-material, as in they used it to disable engine blocks in vehicles
from like 3 countries away.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, it's nuts. Brandon Herrera is great. There's been a long, I guess not super long time, but over the last few months, there's been a huge push on Twitter to try to make it where he was going to be the next director of the ATF.
I saw a thing about 25 minutes ago that supposedly Kash Patel might be the guy as well.
They're talking about absorbing the ATF into the FBI, which, I mean, it traditionally started out as the ATF hasn't existed for, so it as an agency, if I remember correctly, I think it was kind of under the Treasury at one point. But it wasn't the ATF, and then those tasks got absorbed by the FBI, and then it spun off later and eventually became its own agency. But yeah, it's like the Secret Service. The Secret Service is under Treasury as well. Secret Service isn't its own independent agency.
Where would the Men in Black lie down?
Jail?
No, men in black. Not black men.
I don't know, fucking Space Force.
Yeah, there you go.
Which I forgot was a fucking thing until a couple of days ago.
It's a pretty good show. I enjoy it. You know about the show they made with Steve Carell and John Malkovich called Space
Oh,
Force.
I did hear about that, but I honestly had forgotten all about it. It's pretty decent.
Good. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, we were talking about shows and stuff earlier. We were going back and forth a bunch of Simpsons quotes and stuff like that. Mainly the Homer at Bat episode where Burns hires a bunch of fucking baseball players to play on the company softball team. Which is one of the greatest episodes ever. And what sparked it was there's a great Instagram follow called That Simpsons Guy or The Simpsons Guy. I forget which it is, but he shared a Halloween costume. Someone had dressed up as Don Mattingly from that episode, who like basically had the sides of his head shaved and everything else because Burns kept telling him, Mattingly, lose those sideburns. And so he'd shave them off. And he's like, Mattingly, lose those sideburns. He's like, sir, I don't have any. He's like, do as I say. And so eventually he's got like this fucked up half mullet mohawk thing. And then he shaved all the way up here. And finally Burns is like, good job. You look great. But then I was talking about how The Sopranos is my favorite show of all time. And they countered that with The Wire, which has been on my short list of things to watch for years. And I've just never gotten around to it.
I've been to Baltimore so much that I never have to watch The Wire. I've lived it.
And I know that you are you're partial to Breaking Bad and such, that it being the best show. Now, this is a conversation I had with them, and we're just going to go completely off topic in regards to some of the things we were going to talk about.
But, I mean, we didn't really have anything planned. So
do you consider Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul to be the same show, like a package deal? I do too. Yep. Well, you don't get the full experience of either without the other.
And I include El Camino. Everything that's in the universe, I count as one. Yes. That's why I'm starting to get people from Better Call Saul to sign my complete Breaking Bad series barrel, because the rest of the cast is in there. It's the same show.
Now, I know you've talked about this, or not you. We have talked about this. But honestly, I don't remember your opinion of it. So I'll ask again for the benefit of the listeners. What was your opinion on El Camino?
Okay, when it first came out.
Actually, for those of you that might not be familiar. So Breaking Bad, one of the greatest shows in history. Fantastic fucking show. And then Better Call Saul takes place. It's not parallel to, but it kind of is.
At points it is. It's before, during, and after.
Yes. And then El Camino takes place after Breaking Bad.
Immediately after Breaking Bad.
Yes.
Like immediately.
The first time I watched it, I was just like, all right, that sucked. The second time I watched it, I was just like, all right, I get it. It's not amazing, but it buttons up the story nicely. So go ahead.
I discovered the way to crack that code. Because in fact, I figured it out.
Okay.
So Breaking Bad ended. We found out El Camino was going to be a thing. It came out. I watched it. It had been quite a while since I had watched Breaking Bad. Yes. So watching it by itself as a standalone movie, it was very lackluster, I felt. Which apparently you felt that way too, and so did a whole bunch of other people.
And that was the scenario in which I watched it.
Yeah.
It was much later.
So either this most recent go around of rewatching the series, including Better Call Saul, I don't know if it was that one or you know what? It was the time before that, because it was when I was taking my grandmother through the entire series. So
rest in peace. She fucking ruled.
Absolutely.
She's a throwback from the Bastard Cast. We talked about her a lot from there, and my regret is we were never able to make her a guest, because
Will
didn't come from nothing. Everyone, his grandmother was an integral part of how Will is the person that he is.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's a very good way to put it.
It's like Stanhope always said, I didn't come from nothing. My mother reviewed porn on the Man Show.
So we found out somewhat recently. Try to remind me of what the hell I was just saying about Breaking Bad. After I go after I.
All right, everybody, we go off on tangents on this shit.
Yeah. So, the hell was I saying?
He took a hit off of a very strong tobacco pen before we started.
Exactly.
Anyway, you were talking about when I said your grandmother is a large reason why you are the person
yeah.
you are.
So we recently discovered that all the old Bastard Cast episodes were still up on YouTube, even though
They're
were
not
off
anymore.
of.
Don't find them. They're not there. We scrubbed them after that first.
They're not.
They were not there.
I completely wiped that entire account, and for some reason there were no like copyright or bad language, anything involved with any of those episodes.
My fucking mind.
So, if we had my grandmother on as a guest, there would have been some issues.
You've told me many a times of things that she would say.
So, remember Breaking Bad. This is all gonna loop around in a perfect circle.
Yeah.
So,
and your grandmother was a tough fucking broad, dude. She survived the Holocaust.
Yeah, by living in Philly.
That's my favorite joke of yours ever.
She enjoyed it too.
I know. Too. You told me that you said that in front of her on stage, and she fucking cracked up
several times. So
your grandmother in Breaking Bad.
Yep. Jesus fucking Christ.
We were talking about you cracking the code in regards to El Camino.
Not that part. I was going to continue with my grandmother thing and the wild shit she would say.
Okay.
So, around the time her health started to go downhill and I had to move in with her, old people tend to get urinary tract infections. Yeah, urinary tract infections, same thing. And it like the infection would fuck with their brain chemistry sometimes. So
that
like
happened to my grandma, she had a stroke and they thought that it was a UTI, and it wound up actually being a stroke. But a lot of times they get them confused because of how it fucks with your brain.
And that's a very good point. Hit it right on the dot, because like she started after the podcast, everybody should go on YouTube. I mean, you already are. Stay on YouTube and look up Wernicke's aphasia, or just aphasia. It's what they thought that Bruce Willis had gotten before they realized it was actually dementia.
$5 right now if you can spell that.
N-I...
No, this is not the Master Cat. Stop! I told you we're starting a Jew.
A Jew. Bless you. A Jew in Sherwood Forest?
No, that's that stuff that you dip the fucking Arby's sandwich into.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so my grandmother, nothing she was saying made any sense. It was random words strung together. It was like a Kamala Harris speech. And then
penis.
So the doctor sat me down and was like, look, we're like 100% sure that your grandmother had a stroke in the language part of her brain, and this is just how it's gonna be. And it turned out she just had a very bad UTI, and like it went from complete word salad to like it was a progression of her getting better.
Mm-hmm.
So like she'd start to say things, and like it's the basic sentence structure would start to take shape, and you'd be like, okay, I can kind of decode what the hell. It's like talking to a foreigner that just started to learn English. It's like, I know you're saying something, but you're not quite there yet. But like right on the brink when she was starting to be like normal, she'd still be all fucked up if she was like drowsy. And Obama was president at the time.
No.
And he was on the TV in her hospital bedroom.
Oh no. I know where this is going.
She looks over at me. She goes, Obama looks like root beer, but he's not.
Never mind. That's not the story I thought you were going to tell.
No.
There was one with a weatherman one time where she said something else.
forgot about that one. Yeah. No, I'm not saying that.
No. This is nope. We're starting anew.
But yeah, that's Obama's like root beer, but he's not. Anyway, so my Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul wound up being one of my grandmother's favorite TV shows, next to like Downton Abbey and all that British shit. I love this British shit. Major League? No, anybody?
No, I haven't seen
Hats-
Major League in 30 fucking years at least.
Hats for bats, keep bats warm. Anyway, so we were watching through that, and so the last episode of Breaking Bad ended, and we went immediately into El Camino.
Yep.
And it was perfect.
Yep.
Like to me it was kind of like we're both big John Carpenter fans. So I love the movie The Thing with Kurt Russell from back in the 80s, Wilford Brimley, all those fucking people. All that fucking shit. And
that dog alien thing. I think it was called The Thing.
The Thing. So in 2011, they did like a prequel to that movie, and I thought it was fucking great.
I loved it.
At the end of that movie, it leads directly into
it's
the 80s.
It's the helicopter chasing the fucking husky.
Yeah. So yeah. So I kind of felt it worked the same way with El Camino because of the way that they were able to lead it right in. Jesse driving the car away. Well, like the second scene is him driving the car
only thing
again.
that made that better is if it had not been Jesse and it had been John Goodman doing it and punching the roof. Oh! It's fucking Raising Arizona style.
Throwing another baggie out that bag out of the car. My whites.
Oh, and he left.
You need a tow? I'll get you a tow on Wednesday. Fucking nihilist, dude.
What happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass?
Find a stranger in the Alps.
Find a stranger in the Alps. 100%. That's the greatest movie edit of all time. No,
he wrote the bulk of the series.
I did the same thing. So the first time I watched it,
you fucked a stranger in the ass?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. First time I watched it, it was when it debuted on Netflix. I was super excited. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Fucking, this is going to be awesome.
We're talking El Camino.
Yeah. And I was done and I was like, what the fuck? Like I guess it kind of makes sense, but it was kind of slow paced. It was kind of boring, whatever. But I did the same thing you did. That last episode goes off. I immediately fucking go right into El Camino. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah. Hell yeah. Was it the greatest movie ever? No. But it was good. For that same reason, I'd like to give the Many Saints of Newark another watch.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It wasn't very good, but I'm a massive Sopranos fan, so I want to try to give it another watch. But it takes place before The Sopranos, and it doesn't go directly into it. It takes place years before.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it fucking sucks, but I definitely have a newfound appreciation for El Camino.
It's definitely worth watching. And
you did Breaking Bad, El Camino, and then Better Call Saul, correct?
Yeah, I feel that's the correct way. Some people are saying that they would prefer to watch Better Call Saul before Breaking Bad, but there's a big fucking flaw there. When Better Call Saul has Breaking Bad cast members trickle in here and there, and there's slight references to things that wouldn't really mean something to somebody that hasn't seen Breaking Bad first. So it's more special to catch those references after the fact.
My question for you is this, because you're nerdier on Breaking Bad than I am.
Yeah.
I love it, but you know so much more about it than I do. And
I take the cake, as they say.
Has anyone sat down and plotted out the perfect order to watch everything in?
I think somebody did.
Where you splice in Better Call Saul at the beginning, during, and after, based on events and such.
It might even be, you know how they have like those weird alternate versions of Wikipedia, but it's just for like certain fandoms.
Oh, of course,
Yeah, I think
Breaking Bad, wiki.breakingbad.com or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah.
it might not be that site, but for some reason I thought I saw a link. Somebody did make the correct chronology of the series, but that's way too much. I have a job. The people that can do that probably have to stay at home. They get paid wages by the government just to not be in public anymore. Those are the people that are
fucking longer, you USA cocksuckers. Sorry, we're not getting political.
I already did.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
His name is literally Cash App. Yeah. KASHYAP.
it's awesome. Awesome. It's all I ever wanted.
So somebody did that too, with the bulk of the Aryan discography. So a lot of those songs kind of it almost all of it. There's a couple of albums that don't fit into the greater Aryan universe, but a lot of those albums all feed off of each other.
In case
Like,
anybody's unaware, tell the folks at home who Aryan is.
Aryan,
I'm laughing because that's a thing Norm would do on his podcast. Always tell his co-host. Explain it to the folks at home.
except for his would be something stupid like explain to the folks at home what raw milk is, or what not raw milk, but what whole milk is, or explain to the folks at home what Jesus is, or something.
Tell the folks at home who Carol Burnett is. Anyway, yes.
Isn't him saying that to Super Dave, and Super Dave going off on a long dissertation about it. Anyway, Aryan, one of my favorite artists. It's basically a mega project where he's the only sole kind of ongoing member. You know, he's got longtime drummer Ed Warby and so on and so forth. But he brings in all these
a long time.
Yeah, he brings in all these guest singers and guest musicians and stuff like that. Never plays live, except for like once every 2 or 3 years. He'll do a weekend of shows in the Netherlands. I'll be there in September. I went in September 23, greatest weekend of my life. Will's on the couch with a bunch of black dudes that are gonna fuck him. I thought we went over that part.
That's my life.
But yeah, so he will or not he, but those albums all kind of tie in together. Certain part, you were drinking grape juice. I guess it makes sense. It'd be better if it was grape Kool-Aid, but hey, or grape drink. But yep, just the fist for power, buddy. Careful, R. Kelly's gonna pee on you.
They cool.
Oh yeah, you about to be a pincushion, motherfucker. You gonna have as much sticking out as you did in you. You'd be a goddamn porcupine by the time this fucking podcast was done. But anyway,
watch your mouth, cracker.
But yeah, so all of those albums, not all of them, but most of them kind of all mesh together at various parts. You know, this album will be before this album will be after this album, blah blah blah. They'll kind of what album is it specifically? It is 01 goes into fuck, I can't remember what album, but the very end of one album is the beginning of the next album in regards to the music that plays in the outro into the intro. So somebody took and did a huge timeline thing and put them all together. I've never sat down and listened to it because I like listening to the albums as they are. So that's why I was curious about the Breaking Bad thing, because I think it would be interesting to watch them in that order, because Better Call Saul did. It wasn't like, hey, this takes place. This is like, you know, season 4.5 of Breaking Bad or whatever. It's all throughout the whole show.
Right.
So,
yeah, that would take way too much time to fuck around with.
Sure. So you went out today and did some fucking hunting at thrift stores and stuff like that.
I did.
So Will is a huge autograph guy. His collection is more than impressive. Just the various props that he's got, and then just random things that he's got autographed, be it index cards or books or whatever.
And
from
one of
all
my
the people.
one of my favorite things to do is figure out all of the local thrift stores in the area, whether it's a Goodwill or like a Rehome or a Thrift Village or whatever the fuck. Go right to the book section, and 9 times out of 10, well, today it was 1 time out of 3, but you do have good odds to find signed books.
And you've always had much better luck than I have, because I started doing it after you, and I've never found a signed book in a thrift store. I did get one in a consignment store one time.
Yeah, I found Bill Cosby, Sarah Palin. I
Hey, what
found
was Cosby's book called? Was it called "Hey, Does This Rag Smell Like Chloroform"?
yeah. Yes, it was. He said,
Spanish Fly.
"Suckle my pudding pop."
Oh,
That's what Bill Cosby sounds like.
kids do say
That was kind of like Tracy Morgan. Gonna get you pregnant.
kids do say the darndest things.
They do. But yeah, so I've had a lot of luck. Found a signed Clive Barker book, Anthony Bourdain.
I just got Jen a signed Clive Barker book. He did like this series of short stories in one anthology thing. I got her that a couple weeks ago.
Nice. Yeah, he's either done doing conventions or about to be done doing conventions, because his health is not good. Not good. His I can't say what I wanted to say because it's privileged knowledge. But anyway,
You say it, but I'll say it by mouthing it.
nah. Anyway, so
Is
he's
it public
ill.
what's wrong with him? Like, does anybody actually know what's wrong with him? I've heard rumors and stuff over the years, but like his Wikipedia doesn't even mention anything about his illness.
Yeah, Wikipedia is not gonna. There's, if you know how to Google, you could figure certain things out. But yeah. So
Is that what you're talking about being privileged information? Because if it is, I won't pry anymore. I'm just curious.
yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, never mind then.
We can let it die there, just like he will soon.
I hear his favorite comedian is David Spades.
Anyway,
What other books did you get, Will?
you get a lot of cool shit. So today I decided, hey, wouldn't it be funny if I go thrift store hopping looking for books, and I'll do a little video along the way, since this is the first podcast we've done where we have a visual medium, as you can tell by the visual mediums that are standing behind me and in front of me. But
and we're gonna have guests at some point too. Will and I have been working on that. So.
We're gonna have guests. I'm gonna film more segments. I might do some like sketches. I've been wanting to do like sketch shit for a while, so I think this would be a good place to play it, and it gives us the ability
to start his own comedy troupe called Second Shitty.
Second Shitty, yeah, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's good for it. So I figured that'll give us the ability to stop talking for a couple of minutes while we play a video. So yeah, I made a video of my exploits today, and found some pretty cool things.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, I think pretty cool things. Brent's not happy about a couple of them, but that's a whole other topic.
Couple, Jesus, more like most. I said I believe my exact words were, I wish that the majority of them would be firebombed. I think is what I said.
Yeah.
I'll let you find people figure out who that. I didn't say I wanted to do it. I said I wish it would happen.
I think it's best to just say allegedly after everything we say. Allegedly.
Fucking government protection anymore. Whee!
Hey, it's me.
All right. It is you.
Today I'll be doing something which I haven't done in quite a while. I'm going to go thrift store hopping in the search for autographed books. Autobiographies, fiction novels, whatever it may be. If it's somebody that's famous, I will be looking in their book and hopefully finding some autographs. Let's see what happens. The 2A thrift store in Cherry Hill.
They're a great gun
Buy
store.
4 books, get a 5th for free. Challenge accepted. Bill O'Reilly, The No Spin Zone. Let's open this book and see what we got. Hey, look at that. Signed Bill O'Reilly book. General Stanley McChrystal. Here we go. Opening up this book, and we will find a beautiful.
He helped cover up the Pat Tillman thing.
Mike Huckabee. Open up. Terrible signature. Here's Rev Run and his wife. Rev Run from Run DMC, obviously. Here they are on the left page. No idea what's going on the right page. Andrew McCarthy, Brat Pack. Let's open it up. Bam! Weekend at Bernie's. Carl Rove. Let's open it up. COA from Premier Collectibles, which is a great site to get authentic signed books. Not a sponsor. Let me move this out of the way, and bam! 1309 out of 10,000. This is only the first stop on my attempt to go around. Oh, what's this? Oh, all right. Looks like I got a free picture of a woman and her 2 children, or somebody's children. Stop number 2 is a Goodwill store here in Pennsauken, New Jersey. It's one of the worst Goodwill stores. Stop number 3, 2A thrift in Pennsauken. Nothing. There was jack shit. One more stop. I'm at Evergreen Antiques and More. Antique is apostrophe S. Antique is.
Doesn't make any sense.
Here we go, walking through the store. What can we find? Wait, what's this? A vintage 1994 Ric Flair autograph for $14. Only a fucking idiot wouldn't buy this.
Woo! My new buddy over here, Ric Flair, would like to thank you for watching this little video. And I'll send it back to your hosts, Brent and me. Thank you.
Today I'll be doing something I haven't done. I'm gonna go.
No, stop screen.
Woo! Yeah, even if you don't find signed books when you go through things, at thrift stores and shit, you will see receipts and this one. The fucking I wasn't expecting that picture to be in there. It's like
the fact that you didn't see it when you were looking at it in the thrift store, you saw it when you were in your car.
Yeah, because it was wedged between pages that were further back, and when I grab a book and there's only 2 or 3, 4 pages at the most that you have to flip open to see if it's signed, so I didn't go as far back. So I'm guessing they were using that family photo as a bookmark or something, as if they could read.
You need to frame that fucking picture and put it on your wall. And just put a little thing under. This is me, mom.
Oh, dude. So I that Rev Run for Run DMC book where I found that picture.
Didn't Salmo sing about him? Rev Run, is this a conspiracy?
All right, all right. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it. Not in mixed company.
No. If you hang that picture on the wall, your grandma's gonna come back from the dead and fucking kill you.
Oh my god. Anyway, so that book, I figured out when I got home what the extra writing on the page to the right was. So on the page on the left, it was Reverend Run and his wife, and then over on the right is 2 of their sons, one of which is a record producer named Russell. Russell wrote Russie, and so the other son that's the other son that signed it, his name's something like fucking Dylan or Dionysius. I don't know, something with a D.
Dionysius?
No, you know.
It's fucking Behemoth song?
It could happen. It could happen.
I mean,
so
That
for
one was just great.
So Dilbert or whatever his name is,
Scott Adams.
his nickname, his nickname is Diggy, 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 and apparently whenever Diggy signs an autograph, he to form the D, he starts at like the bottom of it and he loops around to complete the D. So he starts his D down here and loops it. But if you don't complete that loop and you kind of leave the other end of it.
Wait, doesn't everybody? Oh no, never mind. I start mine at the top.
Yeah.
Like,
So
does everybody do that? No, we don't.
No. So yeah, he starts at the bottom, he does the loop around, but like ends like a nice stretch between the two lines. So that's the first letter.
Oh no.
So I looked at it and I found somebody else had a signed book from him, and yeah, I was like, so my Google search. Hold on, let me see if I can.
What did you put into Google search?
Hold on.
Wait, Google has 2 G's.
Yeah, it does. It do. Anyway, I typed in what I thought he wrote down, and the last name Simmons. Yeah, that was special. That was some special shit. Hold on, history. Let me try to.
If you like guns and black people, there's a great fucking follow on Instagram. Is this fucking black dude named Nigel Jones, who's got the greatest fucking page ever.
Oh man,
I still can't see.
It's probably for the best that you can't see.
They're gonna jump you if you show it.
Oh, it's you.
Oh my god, dude. Well,
so that segment worked out pretty good.
I think the only signed book I've ever gotten at like a consignment shop or thrift store or anything like that. I don't recall ever getting any signed books.
That's
when I worked at Savers years ago, but I did one year I was walking around this consignment shop that I think it closed and then maybe it reopened again, or maybe it's a different name or something now. I can't remember. In downtown Athens called Agora. And you would go in there and like Jeremy from Low Yo-Yo Stuff had a lot of their budget priced records in the back there, just so they had more room for inventory and such. Because Low Yo-Yo Stuff is a really fucking small record store that I've been going for 20 plus years. I love that. Fuck, almost 25 at this point. Like I went there so much that I had a tab.
Okay.
I'll pay my tab off like every fucking other week or whatever. It was awesome. But in that shop as well, there were, it was not an antique store. I mean, it was a consignment shop, but you had regular dealers in there that were getting stuff and selling it. So some of it would certainly be antiques, and others would just be cool collectibles or whatever that they had gotten that they were selling in there. But there was always a guy that had pretty cool books, and they were usually pretty economically priced. And I'm looking one day and I see Leslie Nielsen's biography. And I'm like, oh, fuck, dude, it's $2. I'm a fucking Leslie Nielsen fan. And this was like 2 weeks after he died. And I'm like, dude, I'll buy this. Read it. Fucking Leslie Nielsen rules. Leslie Nielsen rules.
Nielsen's.
So I go up to the front. And as I'm walking up to the front to pay for it, I'm just thumbing through it. And on the fucking title page is his signature. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I get up there and she's just like, oh, you found something. All right, $2. So I hand her the $2. And then like some fucking movie villain or just some fucking over the top, just super fucking obnoxious prick As soon as I give her the $2, I just take a step back and open the book, and I'm like, ha 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 ha! I turned around and ran out of the store. Like I thought they were gonna fucking stop me because it's signed. It's extra 50. Quick, Will! He's gonna strangle you and hang himself from his Bowflex. But yeah, so I have that, but I don't recall really ever getting any other signed books or anything from any thrift stores.
But that's a good one, dude.
Every time I go to bookstore, like not bookstores, but Goodwills, the books are all so fucking disorganized. It's like, here's all the softbacks, here's all the hardbacks. Have fun.
That's
like,
the problem. But
not,
that's part of the fun. Like
it's awesome when I worked at Savers, like Sue. It's been years. It's been over 10 years since I worked there. Or not over 10 years. It's been 10 years since I worked there. The lady that was in charge of books there, her name was Sue, and she was super fucking meticulous about her book section. So she'd set stuff up out by genre. She'd try to fucking alphabetize it. It didn't stay that way, but she tried. And like she'd have collectible books behind the counter. Like there would be signed books in there from time to time. It was nothing I ever really cared about. They put huge prices on them because she actually checked for that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like I got spoiled working there because I could actually go over to the history section and look through history, or the biography section and look through biographies and such. So anytime I go to a Goodwill, I just get fucking discouraged.
It's fun. I mean, it's fun when you find something. It's a weird like rush. So I had to do recreations of me flipping open the books because it's very
Don't peel back the curtain, you fool.
It would be very difficult with one hand to hold a camera, take a book out, and do it for all the books of anybody that had a famous name. So it's very annoying to go through I don't know how many dozens and dozens of books and find nothing after like an hour and a half to 2 hours of digging in a giant store. But when you open up the book and you see it is autographed, you're like, oh, this looks pretty good. You type in quick Google image search, see what the signatures look like, and if the signatures were real, you get it. Good.
Now that's an interesting point. How often do you see fakes that are obvious that they're fakes when you look it up?
It's never obvious because there's a Gene Simmons book called like I forget, like the cover
Moneybags.
like it sounds similar to the book title. It's called like Sex, Money, and Drugs or something like that. So you weren't far off.
I think it's Sex, Money, and Rock and Roll.
Maybe. But he
famously never did drugs.
Well, it has like a metallic silver mirror kind of looking cover. And you'll find those from time to time at Goodwill stores, and sometimes like they'll even pop up in a bargain bin at almost
Jesus
at Kmart.
Fucking Christ, he's got 76 books.
I bet he wrote none of them.
Is it this one? Sex, Money, Kiss?
No. It has like a mirror finish cover.
Scrolling. Sex, Money, Kiss. That's the alternate cover.
Oh, okay. So
right. Sex, Money, Kiss. That makes sense.
So every single time I've ever seen that book in a thrift store, it's a signed copy. You open it up, it looks good. I bought one time, and it turns out that all those books are auto-penned. He never signed a single one of them. So they're fake, not good, trash, garbage. Get rid of it.
How did I get away with that?
It sucks.
Like not just him, but the fact that it is a thing. Like that Facebook group that you and I are part of. Yeah. Apparently, it came out that the
I quit there again
or whatever. Huh?
I quit that one again.
Did you?
I'm tired of these people. But yeah, the new Bill Clinton.
New Bill Clinton one is all auto pen apparently.
The ones that are on a book plate, which is a sticker inside the book. All the book plate ones are fake, but there are authentic ones which are signed on, hold on, which are
But you would
signed
think
on.
You would think it would be the other way around because you could ship him the plates easily. He could sign the plates and send them back versus someone having to take a bunch of books out to him or have him get somewhere.
That's not how they do it.
Oh,
no.
did they do the fucking jacket?
You get a stack. They get a stack of
the pages, and then the pages get bound into the book.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
So if you look at some signed books, it'll say this page has been specially bound by the publisher.
Yeah,
that's
seen
just
that.
because they get a shitload of those. But the Bill Clinton books, the brand new one, Citizen, the ones that have the signatures, the ones that have the signatures on the actual page itself are real. So
That's a pretty rough signature. Like, I would be very surprised if that were auto pen. So
right,
yeah,
like these are real. And the book plates are not. And dude, most of the people that buy signed books nowadays are not like me. They're not collectors. They buy them specifically to resell, which sucks so much because when the Michael Richards book came out, Kramer, his stand-up is amazing. I recommend wholeheartedly.
His crowd work is fucking brilliant.
You know, he had the balls to say what we were all thinking. But like, so when Michael Richards is kind of a recluse because he still gets bombarded with, oh, you're racist, blah blah blah. So when his book,
I mean, his outburst was pretty tame compared to what was happening to him on stage.
Yeah. But
when fucked around and found out.
when his book was coming out, you could pre-order a signed copy for $40, then those sold out, and then they added more for $60, and those sold out. And since they sold out, now if you look on eBay or whatever, they're going for a minimum like $170. So it sucks because now signed books are an industry, and people are buying truckloads of these books because they're not going to keep them as books. They're going to cut the signature out in the square, frame and mat it in whatever display, and get thousands of dollars just for buying a book for 40 or 30. I think it was 30 that I paid for this. So it's just a business. It's not for book collectors anymore. Like the whole autograph convention thing sucks because I used to be able to walk in with $100 bill, pay for my $5 admission to get in, and meet every single person that I wanted to at the convention, all for that $100 because they wouldn't charge to sign things. But now
they charge for pictures, right? Typically.
Yeah. Back then they didn't charge for pictures, but now
what did they charge for? Like, why were they there?
Like $10 for an autograph, $20 for an autograph.
Oh,
free
you just
pictures.
said they didn't charge for signatures.
Well,
photos.
Well, no. I brought, like, if you brought something from home, they sometimes
okay.
Yeah,
so if you brought your own stuff,
charge
they'd sign it. But if
Yeah.
you needed to buy an 8x10 or something other like that, okay, gotcha.
And now a lot of the big name guests are like they're charging multiple tiers. So somebody could charge $100 for an 8x10 from their table, but if you bring a full size poster, that'll be an additional $100 on top of that. So it's almost impossible unless you have a great fucking job to go to a convention and meet more than one person. It's like $120 to meet like a decent celebrity at a convention.
Well,
now,
I mean,
it sucks.
back to the point. How much did you spend to meet Ozzy?
Yeah. So $666.
And that got you what exactly?
Entry to the convention for the weekend. It got you a picture with all of the Osbournes. It got you
a signed item by all the Osbournes, up close seating for their panel on the Sunday. So you got a decent amount of stuff. I mean,
Sure.
just the autographs themselves would be worth like $400 in itself. But then getting a picture next to Ozzy, like the only way you could do that is at like his previous tours for $1,000, and you couldn't even get anything signed.
Right.
So I think it was worth it.
Yeah. All of the books and stuff that I have signed are things that I've either gotten signed myself, you've gotten signed on my behalf because you would be going to Tony Iommi or Ozzy or whatever, and you're like, hey, dude,
Roger Moore.
you're the first person I thought of. Yeah. Oh, I have 2 signed Roger Moore books thanks to you. They're different titles, but yeah.
God damn right you do.
Fucking Bond on Bond and My Word Is My Bond. But and those are worth so much fucking money now. And I'm not interested at all in selling them.
And speaking of which, so is my my golden gun that's signed by Roger Moore and Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
Soon to have a buddy.
Yeah, it'll be there hopefully Monday. But most of all of my books, like I said, I've either gotten signed myself or I've bought signed. Like I bought a couple of signed. One of my Bobby Heenan books is signed. I got it from High Spots the day he died. Like the news hadn't even fully broken yet that he had died. You sent me a message going, he died. I was like, fuck, I don't have a Bobby Heenan signature. This is going to be impossible now. And you were like, check High Spots, or maybe I found High Spots and checked it. I forget what happened, but they hadn't raised the prices yet. And so I grabbed 2 books. One was like $20 and it wasn't signed, or maybe it is. I can't recall, but his other one is signed, and it's Pro Wrestling's Bad Boy or whatever it's called.
Something
I think
like
it's
that.
the one that I have that signed. And it was his biography. And it was like $30. And then by the end of the day, it was like 100, and they had sold out. And they didn't
That's what you
refund
got to
my
do.
order. They didn't cancel my order and refund it. So fucking good on them, because they could have. And I could have bitched and I would have gotten nowhere with it. But I have a ton of signed books. I think though my favorite signed book, one is just due to what the inscription is, but the other is due to the story behind it. So the one that's the story behind it is when I met Hulk Hogan. It was at Barnes and Noble, or I'm sorry, Barnes and Noble was putting it on in the atrium of the Mall of America, which if anybody ever saw that first WCW Nitro, it's in the atrium at Mall of America. And there's a ton of us there. I mean, it's fucking Hogan. He's at Mall of America. He didn't really get his start in the AWA, but that was where he first made a name for himself before he went to New York.
That's right,
and
brother.
There's a ton of fucking people there, and I'm middle of the way through maybe. And the little Barnes and Noble geek, he's just like, no personalizations, no pictures, blah, blah, blah. We got to get everybody through. Well, I'm a fucking OG Hulkamaniac. Fucking suck me, dipshit. I was watching Hulk Hogan before you were probably alive. And so I get up there and I'm just like, Hulk, can you sign it to me? And he goes, what's your name, brother? And the guy's like, no personalizations. Hulk stands up, cocks his fist back, looks at him, looks at me, and goes, what's your name, brother? And I said, it's Brett, sir. He signed it Brett. Don't care. It fucking rules. But then my other favorite one that I have is I got from you when you met Flair on my behalf. So I sent you the To Be the Man book.
Whole lot of Flair this episode.
I sent you the To Be the Man hardcover, first edition that I'd gotten specifically for you to get it signed. Because it had kind of flown under my radar. I'd kind of forgotten about it. And it was dated at this point. I mean, this book came out in the fucking late 90s, if I remember correctly, or early 2000s. And this was 7 or 8 years ago. And actually, I think it was 2017, 2018. So I sent it to you, and you get it signed. And I didn't ask for a particular inscription or anything like that, but fucking Flair delivered, son. What? Oh yeah, to Brent. My shoes cost more than your house. Ric Flair, 16 times. Dude, the fact that you just found that picture that quickly, I'm pretty fucking amazed by that. You found it quickly. Then I could have literally walked in there and grabbed it off of my biography shelf that's alphabetized.
I know how to use this internet shit.
And then where is it? I think it's out in the other room. Yeah, because it's not right here. Because when I got that Satan poster, I took it down and moved it to the other room. But fuck yeah. I have it's a comic book. It's the first issue of the Big Trouble in Little China comic book that they put out. When did Carpenter go on that tour? 10 years ago?
Something like that.
9 years ago, something like that.
I think I'm
But
out
it
of
was
focus.
right. You are. It was right before Piper died.
Right.
And so I would draw it back very slowly from there and see if that fixes it. I said slowly, not squeeze the trigger, Harley. Don't yank it. It ain't your dick. Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, one of the greatest fucking movies ever made.
And I think I realized why Hulk Hogan spelled your name the way he did. Because he wanted to get the N out.
Oh, that's better than mine. But on it, so I got there was some comic book store in New England somewhere. It wasn't what is it, Newberry Comics or whatever. It wasn't them. It was somebody else. And they did a pre-order thing. If you pre-order the comic through them, which I'm a massive fucking Big Trouble in Little China fan. It's my second favorite movie of all time behind Empire Strikes Back. But if you pre-ordered it through them, they were doing a special event with James Hong where he would sign it and then they'd send it out to you. James Hong famously played Lopan as well as fucking 500 other movies or whatever the fuck that he's done. He's 94 fucking years old or whatever, and he's still acting. He's fucking brilliant.
He might be 98 now.
He's not that old. He's like 95, maybe 96.
96.
Okay.
Today is his 96th birthday.
Fuck yeah, dude. James Hong. Fucking absolutely. So I asked
these chopsticks are for you, Mr. Hong. This is a Succulent Chinese podcast.
Indeed. But I asked for it to be personalized, and I'd written something out on there, and I can't remember what it was, but they sent me a note back saying that my personalization was too long. I didn't think it was that long. It wasn't, but you know, if he's got a bunch of Stein, couple words, whatever. So I get it back. Yeah, dude. That's the thing that I'm most jealous about ever that you've ever done. That I'm almost as jealous of that as I am you having fucking Jeff's guitar.
Yeah.
I'm almost
Dude, James Hong rules.
Yeah. And
here we go again.
Way out of focus now. But anyway, so this comic, I get it in the mail and I open it and I read the cover of it and it says, "Shut up, Mr. Irwin." What I'd asked for, I think, was "Shut up, Mr. Irwin. You were not put here to get it." But he did half the line. And honestly, I think it works better that way. So he signed that. You've gotten me a signed picture of his before, which I have out there framed as well.
I might have gotten that the first time I met him.
I think it was.
He got like a weird like Chinaman award at Race Street in Philly.
It was the award.
Yep. I will figure this out. Hold on. It is.
So I was quick on that. But then I got Carpenter to sign it a little bit later. And I really wanted him to I really wanted to get oh, you changed cameras. I really wanted to get Piper to I'm sorry, not Piper. I really wanted to get Kurt Russell to sign it, but he's not really doing signings or anything like that anymore.
Dude,
I
got so lucky the last time I saw him.
Yeah, you fucking caught him in an airport, you stalker fuck.
No. That was the first time. And the guy that I did that airport run for Kurt Russell, the guy that I did that with, we're gonna have him as a guest probably within the next couple of weeks if he's feeling up to it.
Hell yeah. No, the thing that I wanted to get Piper to sign was I'm not gonna move my camera. Well, fuck it. Yeah, well.
Oh, here we go.
So my light is kind of glaring on it, but up there, one in the middle is
Oh yeah, They Live.
original motion picture soundtrack for They Live, signed by Carpenter, which I also wanted to get Piper to sign. Now, I was looking that up like a year ago, 6 months ago, or whatever. That soundtrack without Carpenter's signature is worth like $200 fucking dollars. Who knows what it's worth with Carpenter's signature on it? But when I met Carpenter when he did that tour,
354, something like that.
when I met Carpenter when he did that tour, we sprung for the meet and greet, and so I got a picture with him. I was fucking 20 pounds heavier. I was the biggest I've ever been in my life, so that picture looks fucking awful. But I got to meet him, and that I fucking got to tell him he was my favorite. Because I go back and forth between him and Tarantino. Honestly, I think it might be Carpenter. What? Even though I probably enjoy more Tarantino movies than I do Carpenter movies.
What?
Each Little China just fucking means everything to me. I love that movie. It has brought me untold joy in my life.
But Tarantino doesn't have a Ghosts of Mars. You know?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. Ooh.
They're tied for me. I mean, they really are. Because I go back and forth about who's my favorite director. I mean, there is no third place. It's those two guys.
Probably John Waters, because you love to eat shit.
No, it's not John Waters. Actually,
my bad.
I can't name a John Waters movie off the top of my head.
Crybaby, Pink Flamingos.
No, what was there was another one that was like one word. Oh no, I'm thinking of The Pest with John Leguizamo. That wasn't fucking John Waters. I don't know why I'm thinking that. The Pest. Jesus, that's a movie that no one's thought about in 20 fucking years. John Leguizamo.
Movie I never thought about.
Have you never seen it? It's awful, if I remember correctly.
Of course, it's starring John Leguizamo.
The Pest movie. Maybe I'm talking completely out of my ass and it doesn't exist. 1997. Fucking John Leguizamo. I'm 100% right. Hold on. No, I don't want Apple TV.
Oh, wait a minute. Was that Leguizamo? Did you see
on the screen?
Oh no, that's a different movie.
1997. Jesus, rent for $3.99 or buy for $12.99. It's a chase, a hunt, a party, and a riot in Miami's colorful South Beach as John Leguizamo stars as Prestario Pest Vargas.
What?
Yeah.
Who names these fucking people?
Who fucking? I want to know who directed it. It doesn't say. Cast and crew. Here we go.
Oh, okay. So I do like one movie where you physically see John Leguizamo.
Paul Miller directed it. Whoever the fuck that is.
Don't know. You should watch The Menu.
Oh, he did Lewis Black on Broadway. That fucking one of the greatest comedy specials of all time. The Menu. That was kind of the not serial killer, but kind of thriller movie from what, like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. Yeah. I didn't see it, but I would like to.
It's really good.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Time flies by. We've been here for an hour.
Yep.
We said when we started this, so we wouldn't try to keep it to 30 minutes. No, clearly we're not. To abruptly go. Was there anything else you wanted to fucking talk about? I'll go all night. We can fucking cut it off. It just depends on what else you had.
So I was taking some notes today. I watched UFC 14 and 15.
I was going to say we should check back in with our senior UFC early day correspondent, Will Bozarth.
Let's see what I was doing here. Watching Mark Coleman get his ass kicked in UFC 14 was really weird.
While you're talking about that, it's not in the other room.
Oh.
It's right here.
Oh, there you go.
It's right here, kiddies. I forgot I moved it right there. Yeah. I'll have to put it back up later, though, because it's going to take a second to put it back up.
Yeah, Maurice Smith kicked the shit out of Mark Coleman, which surprised me. It was kind of funny because the overhead lights shut off.
Maurice Smith was a fucking monster, and he wasn't there very long at all. He may have been there for one more, if I remember correctly, maybe two.
That was really the only thing that stood out for me with UFC 14. In 15, like every single fight was awesome. Let's see what I wrote down. Casey beat the piss out of Houston Door. Mark Kerr kneed Greg Stott in the forehead.
Dude,
Uh,
Mark
it- it-
Kerr, the fucking smashing machine. They're
that was a
actually
19 second match.
Yeah, they're doing a movie about him that's coming out soon, soon-ish.
Really?
You don't know about this?
No.
It's called The Smashing Machine. You have
Okay.
any idea who plays Mark Kerr? Take a guess.
Bert Kreischer?
No. The
Tank
Rock.
Abbott?
Oh. It's his movie. His production company's making it.
Maybe I'll see it because he's playing somebody else.
If you smell what Mark Kerr was cooking.
Vitor Belfort versus Randy Couture was a fucking amazing match.
That's back when Vitor was juiced to the fucking gills.
Maurice Smith versus Tank. Smith won, but Tank Abbott was able to do a couple of things with the ground game, which really surprised me. So,
because he fucking learned, hey, sometimes I'm going to go to the ground. Maybe
Yeah.
I should learn how to get back up or smash someone while I'm down.
so my expectations were pretty high for Tank Abbott after his first match. This is shit that I've been covering on the show already. I'm just taking you on my roller coaster called Tank Abbott. So the roller coaster started at the top, like it was all the way up here. They dug underground to make this roller coaster go the depths that it went immediately after Tank Abbott's first match, because I was so disappointed. I was like this father that just met his mentally retarded son for the first time, and it's like, oh, I don't know where you got those genes.
When it comes to this roller coaster, this is like that fucking copy pasta where the dude was playing Roller Coaster Tycoon, and he had to compete against the fucking theme park that was next door. So he made his roller coaster do like where it basically just stopped and was like a launching pad to launch the people over into the other park, and they would die in that park. So their approval rating went down, even though it was his roller coaster that caused it. He won.
That's the way to do business right there. That's
Right, dude.
perfect. Perfect. That's why they drag dead people or overdosing people out of the fucking out of bars and shit, like River Phoenix at the Viper Room.
He died on the sidewalk. He didn't overdose on the sidewalk.
Officially, like they dragged him out, like there's some shady shit. So he officially died out on the sidewalk, not inside. Conflicting stories.
Anyway, so Tank Abbott.
Yeah. So I started up here, and I had to have them dig a nice crevice down to the core of the earth from following Tank Abbott's digression in the sport of MMA. But now I'm finally about halfway back up to the starting place, which is still ground level. So my expectations are like I'm clawing my way up the soil to get back up to earth. So he's not where he was a day ago in my mind. Tank Abbott, I still respect you.
He's written a book, and I really want to read it.
Really?
I've been trying to figure out how to get a signed copy of it, but he doesn't really have a website.
He has no social media.
He does have an Instagram because I follow it, and he does post on there from time to time.
Okay.
And I tried sending him a message maybe 6 months ago, asking if he would at all be not interested, but willing to sign a book if I were to buy one and send it to him, or buy one directly from him. He never saw the message, never got back to me. But I hear it's a pretty good read. You'll have to go and watch some interviews with him. He fucking hates, and the feeling is very mutual. Big John McCarthy.
Oh yeah, I learned that on the Rogan episode.
Yeah, they didn't get along at all.
I mean, he's the guy stopping fights. He's the man in charge. He's the law in town. And I don't think Tank Abbott really had good run-ins with the law in town.
Which is actually funny because Big John McCarthy was legitimately a cop.
Oh, you can tell just by looking at him.
Yeah, no, that was his day job, and then eventually he quit being a cop and was making enough money doing UFC. But
you know what? One of the fighters in UFC 14 or 13 wound up being a cop after being a fighter and was in like 2 police involved shootings, and he was found like reasonable force was used and stuff, so he had to fucking kill 2 people. I forget which guy it was.
you wait until you eventually, like, if you stay on this ride, wait until you eventually get to fucking Big Mike Beltran. He's this fucking just beast of a man who's an LAPD detective, big biker looking dude, has a mustache that like splits off right here where it's like the two strands that are braided and they're down to his waist.
Like Hugh Morris.
He has to like fucking, yeah, dude. He had to whenever he refs, he has to tuck them into his shirt. Actually, if you go back like tomorrow or whatever and watch that fight night from tonight that you asked me earlier if you could watch, I'm sure he's on there reffing.
Well, I can't watch it on the UFC app.
Why?
It's not available.
Huh.
It's and the thing that was playing on the live thing was The Ultimate Fighter.
Oh, okay.
The preliminaries started at like 6 p.m. my time.
Yep.
And yeah, no.
You might be able to watch it tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah. So anything else on your 14 and 15? Like who was after Tank?
I think I just
no. You said Vitor and Randy. That's right.
Oh yeah, and there was a like Spanish South American whatever guy named Barreto or some shit like that, and he was going against a guy named Benito, so it was like Benito versus Barreto, and it was weird listening to the commentators because it's like, which fucking guy am I looking at? Why would they have these 2 guys go against each other with their names so fucking similar? Don't do that.
You got to go
Knock
with
it
the
off,
TTL, buddy.
Oh, and 15, I believe, was the first one where everybody had to wear gloves. It was either 14 or 15. And they said something about you're not allowed to punch on the back of the neck anymore.
Yeah.
No kicking when down.
Which is still a rule today. And down was one hand on the mat. Like if you were on your knees and had one hand on, that was down. Now I may be wrong on this. I can't recall, but it may be now both hands have to be down.
Okay.
And that was a rule change that got changed at the same time as the 12 to 6 elbow.
It's like I said last episode, it's been fun watching these rules trickle in, and it's like, oh, they're learning that like people are really getting fucked up.
Some of them don't make any sense, and some of them it's like, oh yeah, you gotta have that. Like Rogan's a fucking fanatic, like absolute extremist when it comes to some of the rules that he wants. He wants an elimination of weight cutting. He wants you to be in the weight class that you walk around at, which honestly, I agree with him on it. These guys are killing themselves to lose 30 or 40 pounds to get down into a fucking class and then rehydrate where you're in the 180-pound weight class and you walk into the octagon at 207 because you weighed 180 or let's say 185 and they walk into the octagon at fucking 211 or whatever. They weighed 185 a day and a half earlier. Through virtue of rehydrating and such, they've gotten up to that point. Like, this is bullshit.
Like
Fuck
that. They run with trash bags on to get all the moisture out.
100% and starve themselves and everything else.
Yep.
And then the other one that Rogan wants is it's kind of a two-parter. If you're down on the ground grappling, the ref can't stand you up. It's not like, all right, guys, you got to fight. You got to fight. No. They're down on the ground. They're working. Fuck that. Doesn't matter if they're just laying there. They're trying. They stay down. But to further compound that, he wants, when a round ends, if you're down on the ground in a position fighting,
That's
he
where
wants
you
the
resume.
next round to start in that exact same position.
Huh.
He's like, because a lot of these fucking jiu-jitsu guys, like, they get someone down on the ground and they're working towards a submission or whatever, and then the round's done, and then the boxer is now up on his feet and has an immediate edge where the jiu-jitsu guy got him down and did the takedown and such. So why does he get punished by a new round? I'm like, part of me is like, all right, that could make for a very boring fight if they're not busy doing stuff. But the other part of me is like, no, he's right.
But would they resume the hold that they had when
Yes, 100%.
That would have a lot of issues, because a guy could be saying, no, my chin was between your arm and my neck. And then it's like, no, I had you in the choke. There could be arguments with things, and
you'd have to have really good cameras on them showing exactly where they were, and then a ref that was knowledgeable enough in jiu-jitsu, which most of them are, knowledgeable enough in jiu-jitsu to know, okay, his arm was here, his chin was here, his leg was here. That would be a lot harder than the other proposed one is to getting rid of weight cutting.
Completely unrelated, but I was just thinking how cool it would be if UFC had so Dana White has UFC, he has the slap fighting,
power slap,
which I think is hilarious.
Instant concussions all day long,
which is great, good fun to watch. He should do like a hardcore MMA where it's same rules that UFC would have, but the octagon would have barbed wire around the cages. And like, that's the only thing that makes it hardcore. There's no other weapons. You're not allowed to use the barbed wire to choke or to cut. But like, when you get backed up into it, you get fucked up.
Make it an electric fence.
I mean, yeah, but just barbed wire, no electricity. Analog.
Rogan has also talked about too doing away with the octagon and making it like a semi-pit, so where it's not a full-on pit where you're looking down in it, but it kind of is. You'll see some of these other competitions and so on and so forth where it's like recessed down to the ground slightly, and it's not full walls. It's like kind of diagonal,
concave.
And so kinda, but these fighters oftentimes use the cage to brace themselves against a takedown or whatever. And Rogan's like, no, you shouldn't be able to fucking do that. Which I don't know that I agree with him on that one.
No,
like I very much agree with him on the weight class thing. I kind of agree with him on the takedowns thing. Especially hey, if they're working, none of this, you got to stand up, because it's ref discretion. It's like, okay, well, what if he really is doing something and he's about to choke somebody, but he's not actively fighting like a motherfucker to try to get to that point? It's just like,
and really, the octagon doesn't take away from the potential realism of getting into like a weird MMA fight in the street, because the walls of the octagon could be like the walls of a building outside in an alleyway. You're up against it. How can you maneuver? How can you use your back against that wall to leverage yourself to get out of this submission move? So I'm not with Rogan on that one.
On a semi-related, semi-different tangent, and then we'll end it. You got to get a fucking VPN and figure out how you can watch some of these weird ass fucking Russian MMA fights.
Ass fucking MMA. Sounds like Russia.
Do you see some of this weird shit? Like there was one where so they do weight cutting and such, and if one of the opponents misses weight, their dad has to fight in their stead.
That's sick. That's awesome.
And there was another one that was this one was just from like last week or whatever. It was 3 like female models versus 2 dudes. And
Yeah,
then
I was seeing clips of that one specifically on Instagram.
and then there was a great one from like a couple months ago. It was just this fucking tank of a woman. I mean, she had to weigh 350 pounds. And it was
Tank
her.
Blabbit.
It was her versus like two models, and she's just ragdolling them or trying to, but she can't catch them because they're running from her. I mean, she's fucking massive. She's got fucking teeth, not tits.
Well, both of her opponents would equal her weight class when they're weighed together. I guess.
And it may have been 3, but it was insane. But yeah, I'll see those on Instagram now and again. Fucking scrolling through shit, some weird fucking Russian MMA thing. It's like, you know what? I wish I could watch that shit. Or the one that Jen sees now that you can get it on pay-per-view, but it's fucking expensive. And it's not widespread. I don't know if you could get it on Roku or PlayStation or anything like that. Like, I don't know how you'd watch it. It might just have to be on a computer.
In the sewers, somebody has a satellite feed.
They operate out of Nashville, I think, and it's guys in a cage fighting each other in medieval armor.
I was about to bring that one up.
Axes and shit. And they beat the unholy living fucking hell out of each other.
I've really been enjoying Dave Portnoy's Rough and Rowdy because anybody can sign up. Like, I could sign up. They're doing one in April in Wheeling, West Virginia. Anybody can sign up. Women, like local whores, can sign up to be the ring girls, and like one of them can win X amount of money, and like the losers of each fight get money as well as the winners. Obviously, not the same amount. Like if you win a fight, you can win like $500. I think
How's
it is
sanctioned? Or are they going to states that don't have state athletic commissions?
I think that's why they're usually in West Virginia.
Is that what you showed me the ticket prices for? Where you were just like, yeah, I was going to go to this. Never mind.
No, that's bare knuckle fighting.
Oh, like is that Conor McGregor's thing or whatever?
I don't know if it's his, but that's what was at the Wells Fargo Center in Philly when Mike ran into Conor at the casino.
It's Conor's. Conor has a bare knuckle fighting league.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay, cool. Now that I know. Yeah. But yeah, like that's what's going to be at the ECW arena, and the building is so small. That's why the tickets have to be so expensive, which sucks. I'd love to go there, but not happening. But Rough and Rowdy, yeah, it's pretty cool. Like it's just two assholes that you'd see at the supermarket right now. Like if you said, "Hey, you guys fight," it's kind of like bum fights, but you're actually giving them a lot of money instead of concussions and hepatitis.
Oh,
this is legal bum fights.
Bum fights needs to make a resurgence.
Yeah.
Those videos are tragic and awesome, and by tragic I mean awesome.
Yep. I mean,
all right, buddy.
There's certainly more of them.
I think we fucking overstayed our welcome. We've been on for almost an hour and a half. So is that everything?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, ta-ta and farewell.
Eating a meal, a succulent feast. This my crime, oh what a feast. Why do you charge me for what I feel? Is it wrong to enjoy a Chinese meal?